Hey guys, we're continuing today solving equations, but today we're going to add another dynamic. It's going to be grouping symbols. So when solving equations that contain grouping symbols, first use the distributive property to eliminate grouping symbols, then solve. So grouping symbols, we have parentheses, we have brackets, even a fraction is a grouping symbol because when you have a fraction, the top is grouped together and the denominator. So the numerator is grouped together and the denominator is also grouped together individually. So we're going to do a problem like that. I'm going to show you in what we have here. So example, solve 4 times quantity 2a minus 1 equals negative 10 times the quantity a minus 5. So the way that they're going to start this problem, they rewrote it, but they're distributing 4 times 2a is 8a. 4 times negative 1 is minus 4. So we can get rid of the, so we've done the distributive property. We're past that. So we know that when we distribute, we remove the parentheses. We get 8a minus 4 equals, distribute the negative 10, so you get negative 10a, and then negative 10 times negative 5 becomes positive 50, so plus 50. And then from there, it's just simple solving the equation like we did yesterday. We move the 10a to the other side, we add 10a. When we add 10a to both sides, those cancel out. 8a plus 10a becomes 18a. And then we're going to add the 4 to both sides. Negative 4 plus 4 cancels out. 18a equals 54. Divide by 18. A equals 3. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a couple of these problems with you guys. So you're going to have your answers if you want. So I'll do number 1. I'm going to distribute negative 3. So I get negative 3x minus 15 equals 3x minus 3. And I'm going to solve this the way we did yesterday. So I'm going to move the smallest variable to the larger side. So the smaller of the 3x and negative 3x is negative 3x. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides. And I do this so that I get a positive variable rather than dealing with a negative. So my 3x's are going to cancel, but I'm also going to do the next step as well. So if my variables are moving to the right, I'm going to move my numbers to the left. So my constants to the left. So this minus 3, I'm going to add 3. So plus 3. And those 3's cancel out. So what I am left off with is negative 15 plus 3 is negative 12 equals 3x plus 3x is 6x. And then from there, I can just divide by 6, and I get x equals negative 2. And that would be my answer. But I'm also going to show you just another way that's possible. I hope it doesn't confuse you too much, but if you see a problem like this, you can do this. So negative 3 parentheses x plus 5 equals 3 parentheses x minus 1. And so what I'm going to do is, remember, when you're doing an equation, if you do something to the left side of the equation, you have to do it to the right side. So if I don't want to distribute this 3, I can just go ahead and divide by 3. And since both of our terms, that's a 3 and that's a 3, I know that's a negative 3, so we're going to have to remember about the negative. But we'll deal with that. I can divide both sides by 3, and this side, it cancels out completely. So on the right side, I'm left with x minus 1. However, on the left side, the 3 cancels out, but there's still a negative 1 there. So I got the negative 1, so I'm just going to distribute the negative 1. So I get negative x minus 5. All right, negative x minus 5. And now I'm just at the final stage where I add my x to both sides, add x to both sides. And I'm going to, if my x's are going to the right, my constants are going to go to the left, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides. My 1's cancel here, my x's cancel here, and I get negative 4 equals positive 2x. Then divide by 2, and I get x equals negative 2. So again, I get the same answer, but it was a different way that I did the problem. So it's really up to you. Sometimes you can do it that way, sometimes you can't. Like in number 2, you have to distribute the 2 first. It's not set up like that. Same thing with number 3. You're going to distribute the 3 first, and then you're going to group your terms and follow the steps. Number 4 is the same. Distribute the 5 first. Number 5, you're going to distribute the 5 on the left and the 2 on the 3. They're not the same term, so you're not going to do it. But I like to look at number 6 real quick, because number 6 is interesting. The number that I'm distributing is 4, and notice on the right-hand side it's a 36. So 36 is divisible by 4. So this is 4 times p plus 3. Well, if I divide that side by 4, I would have to divide the right side by 4. My 4's would cancel, and I'm left with p plus 3 equals 36 divided by 4 is 12. And then I'll finish it for you because it's simple from here. Subtract 3 to both sides, you get p equals 9. So that was a quick one to do. If you recognize that you don't have to distribute that 4, you can actually get rid of it. You could do the same thing with number 8. If you take a look at it, a 3D here and a 3 is being distributed. If you divide both sides by 3, you're in a good situation. Same thing with number 7. 18 is divisible by 3, so you can divide by 3 over there as well. Number 9, you're going to have to distribute. You're going to have to use the distributive property for number 9. I wouldn't mess around too much with 10. I would distribute if I were you, because they're not the same number. 2 and 4 are not the same number, and it's really not going to change things. Same thing with number 11, distribute. But I want to take a look at number 12. We have 2 fractions, 2 denominators. So this is like yesterday's lesson where I would take the greatest common factor between those 2, right? Or the least common multiple, LCM, and that would be 8, because 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm going to multiply everything by 8. But remember, I'm multiplying the whole fraction by 8. So that means I only have to multiply it by either the top or the bottom. And in this case, I'm going to multiply it by the bottom. So an 8 is here being multiplied, cancels out that 4. That 4 becomes a 1. The 8 becomes a 2. So then I get 2 times 3 plus y equals, and then when I multiply this side by 8, the 8's cancel. So it's just negative y. Makes it a much quicker and easier problem. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times y is 2y. So plus 2y equals negative y. Normally I would move the smaller y, but since y is isolated on the right hand side, I'm going to just go ahead and move my 2y. So subtract 2y to both sides. I get 6 equals negative 3y. Divide by negative 3. And y equals negative 2. And I circle my answer. So that's it, guys. You guys are going to go ahead and do the rest of the problems on your own. Be sure to click submit in Google Classroom. and have a good day. If you like always, if you have any problems, I'm available. Reach out. All right. Thanks, guys.